10 lies men tell women but won't admit. Have you ever felt like he was hiding something but he'd never admit it no matter how much you asked? It's like you knew something was wrong and he was hiding something from you, but he never accepted it. That's because the truth behind those lies can be serious enough to affect the relationship badly. And as a partner, you have every right to know what he is doing in your absence. And that's why, in the next few minutes, I shall reveal 10 lies men tell women but won't ever admit. This awareness is essential because, according to a survey, 60% of men have admitted to lying to their partners, which has become the root cause of their separation. So, are you ready to expose his lies and take control? Let's begin. Number 10. I don't find other women attractive. Has he ever said to you this romantic phrase, I don't find other women attractive? Now, this declaration of love can be very pleasing to hear as a partner, but it can make you think, are you the only person in the world that he likes? Which would be awesome, but guess what? There is something very wrong with this statement. What if I tell you that this statement is a certain lie? Understand it like this. You may have seen him taking a quick glance at other women when you both are hanging out. But even when you ask him why were you looking at her or was she pretty, he quickly says no and that he wasn't looking at her and it was all a coincidence. But you can literally see him looking at her again and again. Now, what does that mean? Does he like her and not you? Not exactly. You see, we are all human beings, and as a human, it's only natural to find someone of the opposite gender attractive. Even when men are committed, they can find other women attractive. It only means that we are humans. And I'm sure you ladies also find other men attractive too. So, if he looks at her, is he supposed to admit it? And if there's nothing wrong in admitting it, that she's pretty too. But lying about it? Well, he might be doing it to keep you happy. But trust me, this lie reveals bigger problems. When a man keeps denying things like this, well, it can have an impact on your trust in the relationship, and it may make you feel insecure, like he's hiding the truth of his thoughts. Now, this can create a distance between the two of you, even if that wasn't the intention. So, what can you do about it? Well, you should create a very frank environment with him, in which he can be open to accepting it if he finds someone attractive. Now, it doesn't mean that he should disrespect you, but he should be able to prefer honesty over trying to make you happy with a lie. Number 9. I've never felt this way before. Let's say you guys are in a new relationship and it's only been 2 or 3 months or even less since you two have been together. Now, at that time, you might be hearing him say things like, I've never felt this way before, which essentially means that he has never been so happy with anyone else before. Now, this phrase can sound very deep and romantic at the same time, but to tell you the truth, this is just another lie. Now, you ladies might think of how can he be accepting of his feelings in the most beautiful way and it all be a lie? Well, some men can be the real artist of lies sometimes, and here's why this could be a big lie. You see, when we reach the age of puberty, hormones start to kick in, and at a very early age, we start to get romantic feelings for girls or boys in our class or in our streets. These emotions can stay with us even till we reach our middle age. Now that means if you guys are dating for only a few months, that his hormones are talking. That's the kick of emotions that we get during the early stages of our relationships, which can also wear off very quickly. Now, what you need to understand is that a relationship requires time to build. A true relationship doesn't just rely on good feelings. It's about coping with bad feelings too. It's about spending time with each other and even compromising against one's own feelings. Now, if you have been in a relationship with him for over a year and he says this, well, this statement could be true. Otherwise, it's just a lie. Now, I don't mean that it's a bad thing to say that you and he have never felt this way before, but this is one small lie that can cause bigger problems in the long run. It might make you feel like he's already completely committed, which can lead you to open up more quickly than you would have otherwise. What if it turns out that his feelings aren't as unique or deep as he made them seem? So, a quick piece of advice: take things slow. You don't have to blindly trust him on this early on. Time will definitely tell how he really feels about you. Number 8. Lies about his health. Have you ever had him cancel plans saying he's feeling unwell, but something just didn't quite add up. It's frustrating, especially when it feels like he's using his health as an excuse to get out of seeing you. Sometimes he might even go a step further, making you feel like his well-being is somehow your responsibility, coming up with ailments that seem to appear out of nowhere. You plan a date night that you might have been looking forward to for weeks, but on the day of, well, he suddenly messages saying that he's had a terrible migraine and that he needs to rest. This isn't the first time that something like this has happened. Earlier, it might have been stomach issues, and another time, back pain. You start to notice a pattern. Every time he wants to avoid plans, a new health issue seems to pop up. To make things worse, he subtly hints that his stress levels are tied to your relationship, making you feel like you have to be extra careful around him. Guys often use these excuses because they're looking for a way to get out of plans without directly disappointing you or dealing with the awkwardness of saying that they just don't want to go. It's easier to blame it on a headache or maybe some mysterious illness rather than face the uncomfortable conversation. Sometimes it can also be a way of deflecting responsibility, making you feel like his well-being depends on how well you treat him. So, you end up feeling guilty or responsible when he's not feeling well. That's a mental game he plays. You feel guilty if you leave him because of his health, and that's how he gets to stay with you without actually putting any effort into the relationship. Number 7. I promise I'll change. Alright ladies, here's a quick question for you. How many times have you heard him saying, I promise I'll change? After a fight or a serious conversation, I'm sure this is a very common sentence for guys to use literally on a daily basis to avoid arguments or any kind of problem in their relationship. But no matter how determined he might look while promising, this could be a straight-up lie. He might be drinking too much, or maybe he is an addict of drugs. Realizing how this is affecting the relationship, he promises to change himself and to stop all these bad habits. But as you may have experienced this already, it never works. He keeps on promising these things, but, well, they all are in vain and his words don't mean anything of value. Do you want to know why he's always failing? Well, ladies, bringing minor changes into life, like becoming more punctual about coming home or spending an extra hour with you is easy. But it takes a real-life transformation to get a real change in life, like quitting drugs or drinking. It requires fighting with the problem day and night, every day, for many months to get the change. But he is not willing to do it, and he knows deep inside that this change is almost impossible for him. Even when he is very determined about it, deep inside, there is something that tells him he is not going to make it. So he simply clings to lies to get rid of the conversation instead of actually trying to change. So, what can you do about it? Well, you simply can't live your life, your whole life, with an addict who is not willing to change, or at least lying about it. So, you should first put some effort into seeking professional help. It's essential to establish that real change is a process, not a one-time statement. Number 6. I've never cheated. Did you ever experience something like this? You can literally see all the hints and proofs of cheating, and he keeps on repeating that he's never cheated on you. Even with all the hints lying there, his confidence in his lie and his reassuring words manage to change your mind and give you a comfort of mind. But guess what? That's just false hope. Most men actually, factually, never accept it when they cheat on you. Now, it might be true that a guy may not have done physical cheating, but most guys don't even consider emotional cheating as cheating. As a partner, he should be sharing his feelings with you. If he does it with somebody else, well, it's also considered cheating, which can sometimes have a bigger impact than physical cheating. So, listen ladies, cheating itself is not a bigger problem. It means it is also a problem, but as a human, we can all make mistakes. The real problem starts when we never accept it. It can only mean that he might be doing it again in the future. So, the best possible approach for him is to not accept it in the first place. Be it physical or emotional cheating, if he's just denying it, well, he might dodge all the consequences. But as you know, relationships can't be built on lies. Maybe accepting that he cheated and then changing him for good is a better way or a better option than not admitting it at all. So what can you do? Well, you trust your gut and talk about it. If something doesn't sit right with you, bring it up. You deserve to feel secure in your relationship. Number 5. Your past doesn't matter to me. Whenever you tell him about your past life after thinking that he should know about it, he says something like this: "Your past doesn't matter to me." Now, only a true gentleman who only cares about presents would like a thing like that, right? Well, these kind of gentlemen only exist in fairy tales. And when he tells you that he doesn't care about your past, don't believe him. Of course, every man would want to know about your past if he's getting into a serious relationship with you. So, the question is, why does he pretend to not care about it? Well, first of all, if he wants to know about your past life, then he should know about it, and there is nothing wrong with it. The thing is that he never accepts it because he doesn't want to feel insecure about it. Look, men can be very jealous as well when they hear about their partner's exes, and this jealousy can be very apparent. So they prefer to try to avoid that conversation. Secondly, most men do say that your past doesn't matter, but they can literally use it as a weapon against you during any serious argument. Most times, this is exactly what happens. They actually bring up your past lives or your past boyfriends to hurt you or make you feel guilty. So, whenever they say that your past doesn't affect them, never believe it. This awareness can help you a lot in knowing what kind of man you are speaking with. Number 4. I'm single. Have you ever heard him say, "I'm single," but something felt a bit off? It's not just common, but probably the most common lie they speak, often meant to keep his options open even when he's casually dating you. Well, he might want you to believe he's not seeing anyone else. Sometimes it's just a way to keep his choices alive. When a guy says he's single, he might be thinking that he's just being honest, especially if he's not in a serious relationship. But keeping things casual means that he can also explore other options without fully committing. It's a way to play the field while keeping you around, just in case things don't work out with someone else. This kind of situation can leave you feeling anxious and uncertain. If you're investing your time and emotions only to find out that he's not fully committed, well, it can hurt, and you might start second-guessing his words and actions, wondering if you're just one of many. So what can you do? Well, keep your eyes open and trust your instincts. If you feel something's off, ask him about it. It's okay to want clarity on where you stand. Encourage honest conversations about your relationship and what you both want. If he's genuine, he will be willing to talk about it. Remember, you deserve someone who values you enough to be upfront about his relationship status and isn't just keeping his options open. Number 3. He lies about money. Have you ever noticed him bragging about his money? About how much he makes or how much he spends? It might be a good thing at first, but sometimes it's just a way to get you on board. Most guys just lie about money thinking it's an ultimate turn-on. Now, he may show you how much money he has, just so that he can impress you. Now, when a guy brags about money, it can make you question what he really values. Is he genuinely proud of his achievements, or is he just trying to impress you? If he talks a lot about material things, it might mean that he thinks his worth comes from his bank account. Now, this can lead to a shallow relationship if money is all that he focuses on. So, what can you do? Well, manage the conversation appropriately. Do you ask him what he likes about his job? By doing this, you would be able to find out whether or not he really loves the work that he does, or if it's just that he lives in the family's wealth. Look at how he treats money and if he's willing to experience rather than buy something. You are due for the person who recognizes the efforts and does not play him trying to convince you with cheap stories. There should be more than just the money. Number 2, we have so much in common. When guys usually say we have a lot in common, and for the time being it literally sounds very true, you can literally see the similarities right in front of you, which makes you think that, well, he's truthful about it, and you begin to feel emotionally closer to him. But how much of it is actually really true? I guess not much. Here is why. You see, as humans, we all have a lot in common. It's almost everything in common, actually, in all of us, especially the way we think. So when we are actually focusing on those similarities, there can be ones that are super easy to find. That's what a lot of guys do. They literally concentrate on the things that look common and reveal them at the perfect time.
by molding the conversation in that direction. Now, why do guys do it? Of course they do it to impress you. By saying we are alike, they enhance their probability of becoming your match. But is this approach okay? Temporarily, yes, but not in the long-term commitment. When you actually spend more time with him, it's only when you guys realize that you are not so alike after all. Both have different interests, different ways of thinking, and literally everything else is different. These clashes can cause many problems when you are together, so it is better that he just begins by talking about the differences because knowing each other better helps a relationship to thrive. Number 1. Body count. Alright ladies, the last and probably most impactful lie that a guy makes is about their body count. Like they would never openly admit how many women that they have slept with. And of course, their answer may vary according to the woman that you are. Let me explain it really quick as well. Let's say you are a deeply religious person and you believe that we should spend our lives with one person. So, looking at your overall persona and your ideologies, he might declare himself practically a virgin. Like he would say he had never slept with any woman before. Similarly, if you are open about it, and you think a person should only live with the one who makes the best match, or if you think that you are attracted to a person with more experience, he might say his body count is double or triple the amount of his real body count, but he won't ever admit to his true body count. That's because he just wants to impress you with his lie. But a lie is a lie, and it never ends well. The impact of these lies can be significant, and if you find out that he's not being honest, it can lead to trust issues and make you question his integrity. You might start to wonder what else he's been lying about, which can damage your relationship in the long run. So, always look out for this lie because it can be very hurtful later on. And with that, I have to end today's video right here. I hope all the pretty ladies watching learned something from it. And if you enjoyed it, give us a like. And if you want more videos like it, well then make sure you subscribe. Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section.